It's frustrating to say the least, because I know in my heart this all could have been prevented.
Right now at 6, new revelations in the Palisades, from that arrest to the fire response failures, how the 1-2 punch is affecting victims struggling to recover.
And the First Alert Radar Network showing you some pop-up showers and storms to the east of LA County. We'll track this for tonight. Is it around tomorrow? The answer coming up with your First Alert forecast.
And a Laker fan now suing LeBron James. All new tonight at 6. Why this fan says King James owes him money.
This is NBC4 News at 6.
And we begin tonight at 6 with new details about the man accused of igniting the Palisades fire. Good evening once again. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Annabelle Sedano. Colleen and Michael are off tonight. And now that there is a man under arrest for the fire, many are saying their focus isn't on the arrest, but on recovery.
Today, 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht made a second appearance in a federal courtroom in Florida, where a judge decided he will stay in custody for now. Rinderknecht faces a single federal arson charge, but prosecutors say he will likely face far more serious charges.
New tonight at 6, NBC4's Karma Dickerson joins us live from Pacific Palisades with more on how the community is moving on. Karma.
Yes, well, according to investigators, one act caused all of this from a fire that would spark a week later. You have homes like this in the Palisades completely gone, but even homes that are still standing, and it's really tough for some people to grasp this. You see a home like this still standing, but we're told that there is massive damage inside from the firefight. So the damage even more widespread than it appears to be. So now, 9 months later, where does that leave people? Here's one man's story.
Peter Branch's green thumb is unmatched. He's in his garden every day, multiple times a day, tending to his home.
I just have a tremendous amount of pride for my property.
Though technically, he no longer has a home. These are videos Branch took January 1st when investigators say Jonathan Rinderknecht lit the Lockman fire near the Temescal Ridge Trail. Branch's suspicions about that fire now confirmed. Investigators say 6 days later, the Lockman fire would flare up, becoming the Palisades fire, killing 12 people and destroying over 6,800 buildings, including Branch's home.
Oh, yeah. You know, we were lucky enough to have some friends that took us in for a couple days.
His family bounced around from Venice to Culver City.
The moves were easy. We didn't have anything, but we missed home.
And in June, they made it back to a condo in the Highlands, bringing Branch back to the area where he grew up, a community he's so committed to rejoin that even before getting rebuilding permits issued, he started replanting his garden.
Gives me a peace of mind to be able to be up here and little by little improve our lot and make it that much more better when we move in.
Investigators ruling arson, naming a suspect, and linking the fire back to January 1st provided some important answers for Branch.
I believe he's just the first piece of a huge puzzle that needs to be put together.
But he has so many more questions.
I've never felt so alone in my life as when I had to leave here the following morning right before my house burned. There was no water. There was no nothing. There was no resources that we pay our tax dollars for. There wasn't one firefighter on the street.
Branch estimates it will take at least a year to rebuild his home and will cost him about $600,000 more than his insurance will cover. But as Audrey Hepburn said, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow.
I'm rooting for everybody, not just us.
One thing I noticed when I looked at the pictures of before and after of the Branch home, this is actually something that survived the fire. So it's always interesting to see what survives and what doesn't. But, you know, this beautiful centerpiece of their home, they're going to rebuild around it. They'll replant where they have to. And they just really are just committed to this neighborhood, to this community. So it's a little bit of a message of hope to take with us as we continue to deal with some really difficult, devastating news. Reporting live in the Palisades, Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
Yeah, so many people holding on to that hope. Karma, thank you for that. The Palisades fire also damaged and destroyed a handful of restaurants and many other businesses. And with the announcement of Rinderknecht's arrest, business owners are expressing bittersweet feelings.
We're down pretty significantly from that pre-fire level. We're still very fortunate to still be standing.
Some business owners say things are looking up as people are slowly starting to come back and their business is improving. And right now on the NBC LA app, you can read the case against Rinderneck and the LAFD's after-action report about their response to the Palisades fire.
A Lakers fan is suing LeBron James over the superstar athlete's second decision that he teased on social media. Now, this fan thought he was buying pricey tickets to witness history in one of LeBron's final games, but that decision turned out to be a marketing stunt. NBC4's Gordon Tokumatsu live in Van Nuys for us with more on the lawsuit. Gordon.
Well, Carolyn, the plaintiff says that he is not doing this for the money. He's doing it for a principle and also for the millions of other fans like him who feel like they were duped and want to recoup. Lakers superstar LeBron James posted this on Monday. The text below calling it the decision of all decisions. It'll be made the following day. Mysterious, no details. It was similar to his 2010 post announcing his move from Cleveland to Miami. But superfans,
we all thought he was going to retire.
Like Andrew Garcia of Norwalk, took immediate notice. Meeting with friends that night, he was ecstatic.
And I even told him, yeah, I just got tickets, man, blah, blah, blah.
In fact, he spent $867 on those tickets. What better way to pay tribute to his Lakers hero and the team by attending LeBron's last game? March of next year. But then Tuesday rolled around, and LeBron posted this.
What's your decision? In this fall, man, this is tough. In this fall, I'm going to be taking my talents to Hennessy VSOP.
VSOP? And this was the conclusion you woke up with this morning?
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
No retirement, no final game. To say Andrew and his friends were disappointed would be an understatement.
When the next day comes and he's not retiring, they're all talking crap to me.
But not so fast, he told us. He's taking LeBron to small claims court, a date already set for December 1st. He wants to recoup every penny of what he paid to see the multimillionaire athlete's final game, calling what LeBron did fraud, deception, misrepresentation.
I would bet a lot of money it will simply be tossed out of court.
NBC4's legal analyst says that a vague comment about some upcoming decision is not the basis for a lawsuit. With such a small amount of money on the line, though, wouldn't LeBron just choose to pay? Maybe, but this could be his thought process.
If I let this one go and let this guy collect, who knows how many more crazy lawsuits will come out of the woodwork against me.
Even if I lost this case, sticking up to LeBron James on principle is good enough for me.
We reached out to LeBron James's people and the Lakers. So far, we have not heard back from them, but head coach J.J. Redick is weighing in publicly. He called the fans who are angry about this idiots, and he said, quote, "We all knew it was an ad, right?" Reporting live from Van Nuys, Gordon Tokumatsu, NBC4 News.
All right, Gordon, thank you very much for that. Let's go outside and take a live look there at Mount Wilson. We see those clouds lingering around there. A little bit of sunshine. Meteorologist Melissa McGee is here with your First Alert forecast.
Hi there, Annabelle. And yeah, we've been tracking the moisture. The First Alert Radar Network showing you the activity mainly across Orange County and the IE, the mountains and the deserts, pretty much lining up with what we were thinking yesterday in terms of where that moisture will be. So we'll go in a little tighter. You can see that in Lake Elsinore, Quail Valley, over into Menifee Lakes, even some showers, pop-up storms kind of over the same locations. Loma Linda, right along the 10. If you're close to Redlands, we're getting light to moderate pockets locally of that rainfall moving on through. Futurecast showing you as we go throughout the rest of tonight, still some spotty activity. A lot of it will be east of LA County. Would not be surprised if we had something spotty, but overall the moisture continues to trail on off to our east. We've got more of that on the way tomorrow. So we'll talk about what we can expect. A lot of the precipitation is moving to the east of LA County. Spotty shower, isolated thunderstorms certainly in the mix. We'll clear out as we head into our Friday night, and that sets us up for a really nice weekend. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Annabelle, back over to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you for that. It's now week 2 of the government shutdown. The transportation secretary is threatening to fire air traffic controllers who don't show up to work.
If we have a continual small subset of controllers that don't show up to work and they're the problem children, listen, we need more controllers, but we need the best and the brightest, the dedicated controllers. And if we have some on our staff that aren't dedicated like we need, we're going to let them go.
As you know, flight delays have delayed Air traffic across the country for days, including at Hollywood Burbank Airport on Monday. There were no air traffic controllers on the clock there for roughly 6 hours. However, Duffy insisted sick calls are not a widespread problem yet. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association responded to the threat, saying in part, quote, there are processes and procedures in place to deal with the inappropriate use of sick leave.
It is 6:11. Let's take a look at some of the top stories in Southern California.
Yeah, in the Inland Empire, a haunted house will not be serving screams or scares this season.
I'm Christian Gazadas in San Bernardino, where a popular haunted house won't be serving screams or scares this season because the city says it's not up to code compliance. Augie Cowan has been operating the attraction for 13 years to help fund his 17-year-old daughter's terminal illness expenses. Well, the city says the downtown haunted house has exposed electrical, lack of sprinklers, and tight quarters, which caused the code inspection to fail. With only 3 weekends left before Halloween, Cowan is now moving out of the property, but hoping to find another way to raise the money that he needs for his daughter.
I'm Alex Rozier at the LA County Sheriff's Station in Calabasas because they are looking for people who may have been victimized by this woman. This is Adva Levi. She also goes by Mia Ventura, seen here in a 2023 Facebook video posted by Penthouse Magazine. Investigators say she's been using dating apps to meet elderly men and burglarize their home. Levi is not in custody right now. They say right now their focus is on finding victims as they continue to build their case. If you know her or may have been victimized by her, contact the LA County Sheriff's Department.
I'm Ted Jen in Hollywood, where Def Leppard got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. Def Leppard has been performing for 6 decades now and has sold more than 110 million albums worldwide. They have 2 of the biggest selling albums of all time, 20 million followers on social media, and their tours continue to draw millions of fans. In 2019, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and next year they'll have their 3rd residency in Las Vegas.
Up next at 7, he is on a mission to find his best friend. We'll introduce you to the 93-year-old who lost his dog, Sunny, and how he's doing everything possible to find him. Former LA Clipper and Inglewood High School player Paul Pierce is facing more legal trouble. NBC4 Investigates has learned CHP officers arrested him on suspicion of driving under the influence. Those officers were investigating a crash on the 101 freeway Tuesday night, and when they reopened lanes to traffic, they say they found Pierce asleep at the wheel of a Range Rover. In 2023, Pierce agreed to pay $1.4 million to settle a federal crypto case.
New surveillance video shows how an accused church burglar dressed up as an electrician to commit his crimes. This is from First Christian Church in Huntington Beach in August. In it, you can see Juan Carlos Montiel wearing equipment and carrying tools. Police say he told a church employee that he was responding to a power outage, but was then kicked out after the employee realized the power was still on. Police were able to use this video to help identify and arrest him. They believe he may be responsible for several other church burglaries throughout Southern California.
The Riverside woman accused of performing a deadly back alley butt lift has been convicted of second-degree murder. Libby Adame was accused of injecting silicone oil into another woman's backside. That woman ultimately died of an embolism caused by that illegal injection. Today's verdict comes more than a year after Adame was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for the death of another woman under similar circumstances. She's expected to be sentenced next month and faces 15 years to life in prison.
The rebuilding process in Altadena is moving slowly, with some communities suffering more than others.
In fact, 70% of all severely damaged homes from the Eaton fire have no visible steps toward recovery. That's according to a new report out of UCLA. There are faces, stories, and lessons behind these findings. Here's NBC4's Lolita Lopez.
Are you going to rebuild? Yes, we are. We are definitely going to rebuild. Our house has been in our family for about 5 generations.
Brianna Williams has a clear vision of what she wants for her family, including her daughter. Her daughter seen here on top of the rubble left after their family home, like thousands of others in Altadena, were destroyed in the Eaton fire.
So I just live up Marengo right here.
We met Brianna at the newly opened resource center from the Eaton Fire Collaborative. Brianna works for one of the nonprofits housed here. She says her family hasn't yet filed for permits to rebuild because, as she puts it, they're basically getting by.
My parents moved to Apple Valley and I moved to Pomona, so I drive back and forth every day to come to work. My kids attended Rosebuds, which also burnt down, so we lost our school, our home, and we're just starting back over.
Some 6 in 10 black homes were severely damaged in January's Eaton fire, and communities of color the most affected when it comes to recovery, according to this new report from UCLA.
These are all larger patterns, ultimately, of what academics refer to as climate gentrification, which is this concern that as recovery kind of takes place after disaster, it potentially accelerates displacement.
The findings show roughly 70% of all severely fire-damaged homes in Altadena remain in limbo, with no permit filed and no sales recorded. Many, the report explains, likely dealing with financial burdens, delayed insurance payouts, and waiting to see if the community, including small businesses, will come back. This as the county has taken steps to reduce and waive some costs and expedite the rebuilding process. She says seeing what is happening in Altadena can help for future emergencies.
Also, make sure that this isn't something that we continue to see as a pattern when it comes to recovery.
For Brianna, while the process is slow, the purpose is constant.
So I want to keep that history out there. Like the middle class, they worked hard to build these homes.
That purpose and commitment could perhaps be seen in the report itself, which found that fewer than 1 in 10 homeowners with severe fire damage had listed or sold their properties as of late August, indicating that at least for now, many have chosen not to leave the community. In Altadena, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
All right, let's go outside and take a live look there from our home here in Universal City. Is that it, or is that Mount Wilson?
I know it's hard. Yeah, we're looking at Toluca Lake, I think. Yeah, LA River there.
Looking across by the golf course. What a beautiful sunset shaping up this evening. Meteorologist Melissa McGee tracking our first alert forecast.
Yeah, really nice where we are, Carolyn and Annabelle. We've got those clouds and a little bit of sunshine before the sun sets. It's getting earlier and earlier. But also some pop-up showers and storms. So I'll show you what's going on as we look at the picture outside now. We've got the cotton candy clouds there as we're looking live at Mount Wilson on this Thursday evening. I want to show you the temperature trend over the next few days for Burbank, because that's really going to tell the story over the next few days as we head into our Friday. Numbers in the upper 80s, a lot of sunshine, and then once we get into Saturday and Sunday, it's a little cooler, it's comfortable, a little bit below average, but we'll take it. And then once we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we are all the way down into the 60s, so dramatically cooler at that point. We'll talk about the spotty showers and the thunderstorms on the way even as we go throughout this evening into the first half of the day on Friday. Mostly sunny. It's a great weekend, then turning cooler with rain possible as we head into next week. Looking at the current picture, the First Alert Radar Network showing you pop-up showers and storms. A lot of the activity moving into the east of LA County, across Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties. So we'll go in a little tighter to a couple of pockets that are actually moving away from Colton and Redlands as we speak, but still some pop-up moisture. And it's really been out across the same locations. Moreno Valley along the 215 close to Paris and Lake Elsinore. So we'll track the moisture. That will continue as we go throughout the rest of the evening hours and into our Friday, and mainly for the same locations. And all of this moisture is because of Priscilla. It was a hurricane. Now it's a tropical storm. You can see there's Priscilla down to the south, but the moisture from this system streaming northward, and it's mainly out across the Four Corners. And from time to time, we're getting brushed with some moisture across our region. So Futurecast showing you as we get into our Friday morning, still a little bit of leftover precipitation. And all of this is going to move out as we head into our Friday night. So into next week, the moisture for tonight, it will exit as we get into Friday night. Gusty winds on the backside of this for the mountains. It's a great weekend, but it will be turning cooler with that chance of rain as we head into next week. In fact, I want to show you long-range futurecast. There's a trough of low pressure coming out of Alaska, moving into the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of cold air with the system. So by Tuesday into our Wednesday, we're tracking periods of rain possible and some cooler air that will be on the way. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the timing and the intensity. We're still a few days out, but we'll keep you posted. The forecast tomorrow for the basin, 83, nice over the weekend, temperatures in the 70s. And then once that storm system gets closer, Tuesday, a chance of rain. We're down to 68 for the basin and 66 for the coast. Certainly feeling like fall by then. The valley's 88 degrees. We've got 89, still a pop-up in the forecast for the IE tomorrow. We'll clear it out. A lot of sunshine on the way as we head into our upcoming weekend. Then we're down into the lower 70s as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Those days look to be the most unsettled, so we'll keep you posted with that. High desert 87 tomorrow, then the 70s on the way this weekend. Low desert temperatures this weekend, upper 80s, lower 90s, and 66 degrees for the mountains on your Friday. We clear out, a lot of sunshine this weekend, and then much colder. We're down to 50 with threat of some rain. We'll keep you posted on that.
Well, get ready for the Tonight Show extended version. NBC will air a special episode tomorrow called the Taylor Swift Extended Cut. Swift joined host Jimmy Fallon Monday to promote her new album, and now fans will get to see more moments from her interview that did not make air. You can watch that full episode tomorrow night at 11:35 right here after the NBC4 News at 11. But up next on the NBC Nightly News with Tom Yama's House Speaker Mike Johnson speaking out after growing pressure from military families. It starts now.